Hello, everybody. It is I, Jmulls of Jmulls Gaming, back here with another video for World of Warcraft Shadowlands PTR. So, today we are going to narrow down the choices for what I'm going to potentially main in Shadowlands. Whew. Okay, so, it has been a long beta. An alpha that I wasn't invited to. Thanks, Blizz, appreciate it. But I've been playing around the PTR for a little bit, and I think I got it narrowed down to two classes I believe I'll main. I just can't decide which one will be the main and which one will be the main alt. So, contender number one is the Rogue, specifically Subtlety Rogue. And you'll notice that even on the PTR, my Rogue isn't max level because I couldn't be asked to level the thing on live. But we will be doing that for a series in the coming days. So, Void Elf Rogue. Why Void Elf Rogue? Void Elf because I like Void Elves, and Rogue because Rogue is just a metric crap load of fun, especially with the GCD changes covered in yesterday's video. So, Subtlety Rogue. Why is Subtlety Rogue my main contender? Because of its pace, fluidity, and just fun. It has Rogue brings a ton of utility to the table. Because, again, you play as Rogue. So you get a bunch of just like options for what you can do to help out party members. You have Cloak of Shadows, you have Blinds, you have Kicks, you have Picklocks, Pickpockets, you have Poisons, you have Distract. You have a heal with, you know, Crimson Vial. You have Vanish, you have Sprints, Shadow Steps. You have a bunch of tools at your disposal on top of gameplay that I really find fun and engaging. So let me just put my poisons here. This is just PTR, so don't worry about anything here because all my freaking keybinds are kind of like messed up here. All UI is kind of trash right here. But let me just go over the basics of why I'm enjoying Rogue so much. This is not like how to actually play Sub-Rogue. This is just after a couple of an hour or two of me just toying around with the thing. So stealth, gonna go in with, what's the name of this? Shadow Strike. I haven't played Rogue in any significant level since I want to say Warlords of Draenor. Oh god, GCD change is so good. Just able to pop your cooldowns and go straight into the gameplay you want to play instead of having this really weird intermission where you just have to like pop your cooldowns one after another. Or just pop cooldowns in general. Because it just breaks up the flow of gameplay, and with the GCD change, like, I was always considering Rogue. Because from what I was playing pre-GCD change, I was heavily enjoying it. But post-GCD change, it's just on another level. Like, I'm not even max level right now. Look how fast this gameplay is. Look how constant. There's like no downtime in this thing. It's so freaking good. Any downtime you have is like, you probably just optimize it so you don't have it. Plus, I'm not max level, and it's still this fast. Imagine this thing with more haste. Like, my god. Like, we all know Rogue only has two specs, because we have Assassination and Subtlety. This one actually does not exist. Fun fact, if you press activate here, it will delete your character. Like, on live, too, yeah. Well, trust me. Because you willfully decide to play Outlaw Rogue. So, let's go to Assassination. And it's not as fast, I'm going to admit. Not as fast as Sub-Rogue, but I still enjoy Assassination well enough. Like, it's not bad. Like, look at this. Yeah, I should have ambushed there, but I was in combat already, so. You have a bunch of bleeds to manage. You have a manage Slice and Dice, because that's still in the game. Managing Eternal Bleeding from Kidney Shot, yeah. You have Gyrodes, you can apply all your bleeds and then Sanguinate, apply another bleed. It's just so good. And just something about Rogue that I'm really enjoying. Or, I didn't think I'd be a fan of a dot-heavy class. But maybe I was just ignoring them for no real reason. Because I've been Even on a training dummy, I've had more fun playing this rogue on this training dummy than I had playing Fury Warrior throughout all of BFA. Not even lying to you. I'm not like exaggerating anything. Like the prospect of being able to play this for an entire expansion, like give me. Plus, I'm not even max level yet. We'll have get the 50 talent row, and we get more abilities as we level. That's like what we're talking about. Like, I'm not terribly impressed with the Rogue Covenant abilities, but the base class is just so much fun, I don't particularly care. Like, Necrolord looks to be the best for Rogue, which is good, because Necrolord ability looked the most fun to me. With Bone Spike and putting on multiple targets, and then getting one big attack with Bone Spike. I like that. Sounds cool to me. I can't wait to play around with it. Pull the ripcord. But yeah, so that's kind of like my rogue. I'm not going to go like over the whole thing and give like an entire class analysis. There's plenty of other better qualified people who can give you that type of analysis if you're looking for it. I'm just like going over the very basics and like what I enjoy about the rogue. And really, what I like about the rogue is management. Management and active decision making. Being able to manage slice and dice along with my bleeds. Having these talents. Like, I like Alacrity. I'm like one of those people that likes Alacrity, but I also love Exsanguinate. And I like Venom. Do I like Venom Rush? Mutilate with Defense 5 energy when used against a poison target. And that's kind of just like you get more energy, because essentially you're going to have poisons up. So over time you just save more energy, which, cool, but I'm not entirely sure how much I like that talent, because as you saw there, I wasn't really wanting for energy that much. Like, it just flows so good at not even max level. I keep repeating that because it bears repeating. Like, I was terribly unimpressed with BFA class design, and I was not looking forward to Shadowlands class design anymore. The GCD change on top of just the tuning they did with these stats to make sure you have enough to have fun with it. It's great. I like it. It's like, it's a massive step up from BFA, which I can appreciate. So I definitely think Rogue's going to be probably my one of two potential mains. Honestly, I'm loving Rogue the more and more I think about it, and the only thing potentially keeping me from maining it is the fact that it's pure DPS and doesn't have a tank spec. Because I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV a lot recently, and I've been really enjoying tanking in that game. I kind of want to start tanking in WoW as well. But at the same time, Rogue's just so much fun, I might not care. Because I don't think WoW's going to be my main game anymore. I think 14 kind of took over that for me. But I still love WoW. I want to love Shadowlands. And Rogue is building upon my base principle for how do I enjoy... I worded that poorly, but my main thing for MMOs is if I don't enjoy the combat, I'm not going to enjoy the rest of the game. And I enjoy Rogue. I can get through a lot of grind and that kind of stuff if I enjoy class design, and I'm enjoying Rogue class design. So let's move on towards the other potential main. We are here on the Death Knight. Yeah, I'm not terribly impressed with... Ordinarily, I do tend to play classes, but I'm not terribly impressed with Warrior or Paladin. Paladin's better with the GCD change, don't get me wrong at all. Like, I'm considering Paladin more and more because of that. But I just have a soft spot for Death Knight. I mained it back in Cata when I first started. And it's always been that class I kind of like defaulted back to. And I enjoy Frost significantly more because of the GCD change. Like, these are the talents I'm taking. I'm going with a Breath of Sindragosa just for the purposes of this video. But because I took that, I'm also taking Hypothermic Presence because, one, it's not on the GCD, and two, it reduces runic power cost of ability by 35%. I don't know if that applies to Breath of Sindragosa. I hope it does, because that'd be a nice bit of, like, synergy. Alright, let me just pull up my pet, and we can have a ghoul as freaking Frost again. Huzzah! Like, I love that. Okay, so... And you can see, we're just going to start going in, going to build up for our Breath of Sindragosa, put up Remorseless Winter, pop my cooldowns. There we go. Here we go. Watch this. Just need some more runes. Alright, let's pop Breath now. I'm just going to try and maintain this. I'm not, like, terribly against Breath of Sindragosa. I think it has its place, but it requires very specific tuning to where it doesn't become overburdening and really just annoying. I kind of like the idea of managing runic power with runes and building up to a big sweet spot, because that's kind of the gameplay I like about Sub with Shadow Dance. And, like, pooling your energy so you can go in for a big Shadow Dance and that kind of stuff. I don't think Breath has the same weight behind it as Shadow Dance does, in my opinion. Just because Breath is kind of like something you're just, like, desperately trying to keep up. Now think about it, it's kind of like old Shadow Priest, isn't it? Like, before I got the revamp, it just did. I'd love to try out Shadow Priest, but I don't have a base, so oh well. But yeah, like, Frost is generally my litmus test for will I enjoy Death Knight this expansion. Because I always had a weakness for Frost. And I enjoy Frost way more than I did in BFA because I'm not so burdened by the GCD. Like, I know I'm going to bring up GCD a lot. Actually, in a scrap the video I had planned to put out because of the GCD change. And it fundamentally changes how I like classes. I'm not joking about that. GCD was a major factor why I didn't really enjoy Death Knight and why I didn't main it in BFA. I went Warrior just because it was just fast. I'm like, okay, I can ignore stuff for the most part and just play the content. But now we're on Unholy, and I significantly enjoy Unholy. Slight issue, it's still GCD locked. Because a lot of the changes they made to the GCD weren't really for Unholy. They were mainly for Frost. But you still have 4 GCDs here with Unholy Assault, which they're trying to make more worthwhile because it's also infecting the target with 4 Festering Wounds, and it gives you the Unholy Frenzy buff. Which is nice if they're pairing the two together, but it's still a GCD. I'm not pressing that because I want it to do... Yeah, I don't like cooldowns being on the GCD. I think that's how I have to put it. Because Unholy Assault, sure, it puts up 4 Festering Wounds, but it's still breaking up my gameplay. In a weird way. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll warm up to Unholy Assault being on the GCD over time, but still, Gargoyle, Dark Transformation, Army of the Dead, 8-minute cooldown, by the way. So let me just show you. So let's summon my Raised Dead pet. On Army of the Dead, Dark Transformation, summon Gargoyle, Unholy Assault. Alright, now we can just go in, Apocalypse, and building and managing Festering Rune stacks. Again, this is gameplay I like. Once we can get past that GCD issue, I really enjoy Unholy. I think it's a ton of fun. I think we're getting a lot of downtime just because I'm bad at it right now. I'm out of practice. So I'm not going to really, like, write it off about all this downtime right now. Because I know how fluid this thing can be. And I'm assuming, even if it's bad right now, with gear, it'll become better. It could also just be because of the talent build I've taken. Like, that could be potentially it. But the overall flow of Unholy and the constant decision-making you're making with Festering Runes and do I want to pop them? What can I do? How can I better manage these stacks of Festering Runes? When do I pop them? Oh, we're getting a lot of AoV right now. Let's pull them all together, pop down a Defile, and just go to town with them. What talents do I want? Like, I'm not the biggest fan of these talents, but they're still serviceable. I'm not entirely sure why I have this Fiery Chain. Must be because of my Azurite. Yeah, it's actually probably because of the Azurite. Because that's now an Unholy Pact, which is a talent. But yeah, it's cool. I love Death Knight. We also have Blood, which is a tank I've always enjoyed. Like, there's never been a time I really haven't enjoyed Blood. There's just something about... My freaking minion will not stop attacking this. Just dismiss him. Get out of here. Get out of here! I am not in combat. Okay, so let's just go over to Blood, because one of the things that... I think I enjoy Sub more than I do Frost or Unholy, but Death Knight has Blood, and it's a tank. So if I ever want a tank, I can. Which is a massive benefit. I like being able to heal myself with Death Strike, Bone Storm. I like managing mail when stacks. You have consumption. It's just fun. I haven't tanked that much in WoW, but when I've played Blood, I've enjoyed it. So it's nice to be able to fall back on, oh, well, I have a tank, so if needed, I can always just tank. That might push me towards maining Death Knight over Rogue, but again, these are still my really early thoughts about it, about class design in Shadowlands, like what I'm maining. But I think I've got it nailed down to these two. It's just a matter of who's the main, which one's the ult. I think that's what I'm going to go with. So, thank you all for tuning in. My pleasure for making the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe if you liked the video and you want to see more content. I know I would appreciate. Stay safe out there. Have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.